Hello and welcome to this episode. I'm going to be talking about how to edit raw photos from your camera. So, most DSLR cameras will take raw images. If you're new to photography, you may not know which is the best program to edit these images with. You can do loads of different types of photo manipulation. However, the raw image file needs to go into some type of program on your computer to be able to make an edit. So this video is going to be loads of segments. So I'm going to put chapters in the description. So just tick on the bit you're interested in. I'm going to talk about the software, which is called Raw Therapee, which is similar to Lightroom. However, it's free. I'm going to be covering things like what is it, so a bit of history about it, how to download it. I'll show you how to install it on your computer. I'll cover the basic menus within the program. It's a bit of a funny layout, so it'll be interesting to see that. Starting the program, how to bring in photos into the program, how to edit the program, things like exposure, cropping, adjusting some sharpness, contrast, things like that. And then finally, how to export the photo. So all of these will be linked in the video somewhere. So just tick on the bit you're interested in. The Raw Therapee is a cross-platform raw image processing program released under the general public license version. So it's an open source software and it's free. And this software was originally written by Gabor Horvath of Budapest. So it's taken development over 2010. A team of people around the world have slowly made it better and better. So examples, other programs such as GIMP is another open source software similar to, well, the alternative to Photoshop. So you might do a separate one for that. If you're a photographer, you may be used to using Lightroom. This is your free Lightroom alternative. Think of it like that. It basically categorizes your pictures. The raw images you take in camera, DSLR shoots raw, can be edited on this package. And I've given you sections to download this, so I'll put you in the markers section of this, bookmarks even. No, what do they call it now? They call it chapters, don't they, in YouTube? Okay, so I'll link you to the description to the location for downloads page. The latest version is 5.8. I have Windows 64-bit. If you're unsure how to check that, you can normally go into this computer. Let's show you that. This PC, right click, properties, and here it says 64-bit operating system, which you can't see. When you right click on the desktop, you'll get this. So 64-bit operating system there. So I know I've got 64-bit Windows, 47 megabytes. Save the file. I'll call it, yeah, that's fine. Save. Once that downloads, which is fairly quick, we basically get that and install it. Give it permissions, and let me see if you can see that. Yeah, English. Let me get rid of this so you can see that. Okay, so English. Okay, I accept. Once you've read all that, which I just did, install it to the location. Should I install it there? Let me install it onto my secondary hard drive, which will be better if I go the program files, PC programs, standalone programs. Okay, and install that. And do not create. Yeah, let's go for it. Okay. Only me. Oh, I only use a PC. So who do you want it to use? Create a desktop shortcut. Yes. Add browse with no. Add open row on you. No. Next. Install. So that's as easy as it is to install it. We're at 2 minutes. I've downloaded it and I'm installing it. In this segment, we're going to be looking at Raw Therapee menus. So we're going to cover this as if it's the first time you're using it. And I've got a nice little diagram here from the Rawpedia website, which I'll share with you here. So they do have some resources on their website. But if you look at these sections, I'll give you an overview of these sections. And then going into the video, I'm planning to put chapters here so you can click on either section and just look at the one you're interested in. Okay, so Rawpedia. The first section you want there is your general tab. Be a layout on the left hand menu, you can see. You've got 3 menus you can select. Think of them as tabs like you do on an internet browser. You can select 3 of those and you'll get different views. I'm covering this from a very basic point of view because coming from Lightroom onto this, it's a whole different layout and it's interesting how I perceived it. So I'm just going to cover it how I liked it to be told to me. Okay, so number 2 is another layer, and you can look at that layer as your location folder. Depending on which tab you're on, number 2 will either show or it won't show. So number 2 is going to be your folder structure. That tells you where do you want to look, where are your images stored. And then you have your section 3 in the middle here, image processing tab. So when your image is selected from this library, you'll see a list of them here. And then you have additional options around the sides. Number 7 here, depending on your version. So when you start Raw Therapee, you're going to see the first screen, which I'm showing you right now. So I'm going to show it to you in a way that I liked to be taught, which you might like or you might not like, but I'm going to keep it very basic. So the first screen you're going to be seeing is a background, and let's have a look. So yeah, so when you start Raw Therapee, you will land on the file browsing tab, which is along here. You can see here locations listed, you can see folders listed. It might be empty, so you might not have nothing there. You just need to point to Raw Therapee to your raw photos are stored. So if I show you an example of this in this menu here, mines are, let's have a look there, but it's not in documents, is it? Let's go to the location. So if I go to D drive, you can select the drive on the top, which is your places, and then here it breaks it down. You can add quick places here as well. So if you have a regular place you like to go, you can add it by clicking add or take away. And if I do recent folders, if I go through my folder structure and bring up some example pictures for you, let's give you something from my edit my raw section. Soft talks. I'm just going through the folder structure here. Edit my raw. Let's do episode 3. So what you need to do is double click on it when you get to the folder you want. So now I've double clicked on that folder. In the middle section here, you can see the photos that have come up that I want to use. So this is part of the navigation process. There's 3 menus on the side here, which you could probably not see all 3, which isn't great, is it? Let me see if I can extend this display out a bit. There you go. So editor, where you edit the image. Q is your output. So think of these as tabs. So file browser is where we're at now. Q, I have an image in there which I'll get rid of. So when you try and export an image, it comes into the queue, and you can have loads of them there and then export them out into whatever format you want. And the editor is on the left hand side where you actually make changes to the image. It's brought it in. Okay, so it's not happened to that image. I wonder why that was in that way. Is that something to do with how I saved it? Because I exported it as a DNG from Lightroom, maybe. Okay, so here we have the image. On the right hand side, you have exposure, detail, white balance, advanced, transform, raw, metadata. So the type of camera it was shot on, when it was shot, all the camera details. So to be able to do the basics here, all I'm going to show you is the basic edits in this space, because I'm calling this like the starters bit. We'll go into more detail in throughout the guide. And if you use certain tools, be sure to comment and let me know, because I want to hear from you guys. I'm new to Raw Therapee. I just want to share it from my point of view, seeing it as a new creator and using Lightroom. So okay, here's the image. Let me see if I can do a few adjustments. So exposure compensation, that's too bright. Can I use the alt key like we do in Lightroom? Let's have a look. No, we can't. Okay, I'm looking at this. It's still a bit too bright there. Let's bring that down a little. Bring the blacks up a tad. Shadow compensation, contrast, saturation. Let's make it a little poppy. Okay, there we go. See how we can manipulate this a bit. Okay. Just trying to figure out what each of these does. Tone curves, linear. Oh, okay, interesting. Is there a way to zoom in here? Okay, can I use space? Oh no. Now if I was to move it, how do I hit the hand? Okay, there we go. Oh, that's very sensitive. Okay, so if I bring the sharpness of the eyes up slightly, shadows and highlights, shadows, tone mapping. Okay, that's nice level of interesting. You know what? In the next few layers, I'm going to do a proper intense edit with one of my Edit My Raw experts from Reddit. And you can see that episode in a live show, actually. That would be good to see. But yeah, okay, so let's get back to target. Detail. Contrast threshold. Oh, okay. Let's put out some detail. Probably a bit too intense. So you can see a cheek there. Sharpening. Amount. Okay. But yeah, I've made a few adjustments. So what I'll do now is put to queue. So in the top of that there, you can see, let me zoom back out again. This image has been edited. And here, put current image to processing queue. I select that, and you'll see here, it's popped up here saying I can edit, export it now. So that, use that template, save to folder. Let's put it into the desktop. Okay, actually, no, I can show you that, can I? Desktop. And yeah, open. So I'm going to save it to the desktop. And here you can see it's a JPEG, PNG. Okay, so there's a few options there. Let's try JPEG. JPEG quality 100%. I don't want to save the parameters with it. And then start. So that has been saved. Let me see if I can open it from my desktop, which is here. Okay, there we go. There's the image. And let me open the original. So we basically did a quick slight edit, which I didn't really like, but I'm just getting used to the menus. But that gives you an idea of what you can do on it. So if I go back to the catalog, it was number 3, wasn't it? Show 3, and then bring up the original. Okay, so here's the original. And here's the edit. Let me see if I can put them on top of each other there. So you can see there's slight improvements there, but there's more work to do. But let me check the settings of this image that was exported. So properties, it's an image. Okay, so dimensions, 300 dpi uncompressed. Camera information is there. And it's 3.5 megabytes. The original image was 14 megabytes, which is the original DNG out of the camera. So there was some type of compression done there. Okay, so that's your quick look and starting guide into Raw Therapee. You can use it, and we'll cover the chapters separately.